Hi, I'm Rich Torrey. Welcome to another Level Up Cartooning. All you ever need to follow along with me is a pencil and paper. It doesn't get any easier than that, right? Okay, so we spent the last few weeks drawing hands, and it was while I was researching another possible hand lesson that I stumbled on some character drawings from one of the pioneers of traditional animation, Max Fleischer, which got me to thinking about how I need to draw some of the classic characters from the Fleischer Studios. If you're not familiar with Fleischer Studios, well, Max and his brother David started their Out of the Inkwell silent animated cartoons in 1919, starring an unnamed clown that went on to become their first star, Koko. Koko went on to star in Fleischer Studio cartoons for over a decade, along with his dog Fitz and later Betty Boop and Bimbo. One of the most famous Koko appearances was the 1933 Betty Boop version of Snow White, in which the evil queen turns Koko into a ghost, who then uses the voice and dance moves of legendary crooner Cab Calloway, singing his hit from the time, St. James Infirmary Blues. You can find it online, and I cannot recommend it enough. It's awesome. Anyway, we're going to draw Koko today in a turnaround. What's a turnaround? Well, it's a series of drawings of a character in different angles to get a good overall feel of what that character looks like. Now, I have one other thing to address before we get started. So we've just finished doing a couple of weeks of drawing cartoon hands. First, the classic four-fingered cartoon hand, then the more human five-fingered hand. Well, in doing my research of Koko, I discovered original Fleischer Studio model sheets of Koko that show him sometimes with four-fingered hands and sometimes with five-fingered hands on the same model sheet. In fact, the model sheet I'm using today has one image of Koko with one of each. In other words, one of his hands is four-fingered and the other five-fingered. It's insane. Guess what? I had to draw it. I just wanted you to be aware of it and look for it. A first for Level Up Cartooning. Anyway, before we get started, make sure you hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button as it helps this channel to grow, and hit the bell so you never miss a lesson. Alright then, let's draw from Fleischer Studios, Out of the Inkwell, our Koko the Clown turnaround. We're going to draw our turnaround of Koko step by step, giving you the secret formula to be able to draw him again and again. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know I normally use the character's head to figure out how big the entire character is. In these drawings, Koko is just under or around 4 heads tall. In other words, however tall his clown head is, his entire body is roughly 4 of those tall. Okay, so let's draw the roadmap for our Koko the Clown turnaround. So there's a roadmap for our Koko the Clown turnaround. Now before we go on to step 2, I want to give you the layout of our Koko's simple shapes for those of you who want a screen grab. Again, just something to help you envision how to lay out your drawing. So now we're on to step 2. In this step we do what I call roughing out the features. I want to remind you that until the third and final step, you want to draw as light as possible. You'll see that I use guidelines to help you to know where to put Koko's eyes, nose, mouth, among other things. We don't want those guidelines in the final drawing, so you want to draw them light enough to be able to erase them easily. Okay, so let's rough out the features for our Koko turnaround. Okay, so there are the roughed out features for our Koko the Clown turnaround. So now with the roadmap done and the features roughed out, it's time for that final step. In step 3, we get to have fun. We get to draw in the final details of our turnaround exercise with Koko the Clown. We don't have to guess where to put things because we've already done all the hard work figuring that out. As I often say, I want you to be present. And what I mean by that is you don't want to just mindlessly retrace over the lines you've already drawn. As you're drawing those final lines, you want to be thinking about how you might improve them, staying vigilant until the very end. Okay? So let's draw in the details for our turnaround of Max and David Fleischer's Koko the Clown. And that's how you do it. There you have it, our turnaround exercise using one of the pioneers of early animation, Max and David Fleischer's Koko the Clown. So how do you think you did? Understand if you've never drawn any pose of Koko the Clown before, then you can't expect to have drawn him perfectly. You notice I don't spend time coloring our Koko the Clown turnaround during this video because I want my lesson to focus solely on the drawing process. Now you have the secret formula, the process for drawing the legendary Koko the Clown. And with that, you can draw him again and again. By all means, color him when you're done. I promise each time you draw him, it'll be a little better and a little easier. I also promise the more you work with me, the better you're going to get at all of your cartoon characters. So I'd love to see your turnaround drawing of Koko. If you can, take a picture and post it on either Facebook or Instagram, and don't forget to include the hashtag #LevelUpCartooning. I hope you had as much fun as I did with this one. Remember to subscribe, and thanks for joining me. Until next time, keep drawing, my friends.